Hello, welcome to the podcast. We have got another live root cause coaching session for you. So today, Chris coaches a very brave soul, Tara, who is an accountant who helps business owners with their bookkeeping and money clarity, live on our podcast. And the problem that Tara came to get coached about is a problem that I think a lot of our listeners are going to resonate with. So in particular, this sense of overwhelm, having a very full brain, struggling with presence, and really struggling with work-life family balance. There's almost like this war happening inside of her. She knows all the strategies. Externally, it's all there, but internally, she has two parts of herself warring against each other. So what starts off as health stress quickly reveals deeper patterns as the coaching session goes on. Chris and Tara tap into fear of failure, the inner war between presence with family and building the business, and the belief that she needs to give everything to everyone to be enough. At the end of the coaching session, Tara receives or creates for herself a pretty big breakthrough that she really felt was going to help her to move into living her life with more balance. And she had an immediate feeling of less overwhelm at the end of the session too, which is really cool. So it is a rare honor to be able to sit in on a very personal coaching session. So a very big thank you to Tara for allowing us to publish this episode. And you, the listener, I would love you to give her some virtual, energetic love and compassion as you listen to this very intimate conversation. You might find yourself resonating with the struggles and the beliefs and the insights that come out of this conversation. I know for me, there's always things that are like, yes, I resonate with that. Now this is opening up a new insight for me that might be slightly different to the person being coached. But when you're in this coaching space, even as a listener, and your heart is open, you yourself can get a shift, an insight, even a transformation just from listening, which is really awesome. And this is a lot of the work that we do with our clients inside our Ending Body Burnout Method program. So we do work on both the physical healing, lab testing, therapeutic supplements to support the body systems, but deeper than that is why are you running these body burnout patterns in the first place of overwhelm, stress, people pleasing, perfectionism, all or nothing thinking? Because if we don't solve that, then all the lovely supplements, they might make you feel better for a little bit. All the great diets might make you feel better for a bit, but at some point you can't outsup or outdiet the root cause. So if you really resonate with our style of holistic root cause healing, you can check out the show notes, check out our Ending Body Burnout Method program. The doors are now closed, but we are opening doors again in September. So definitely pop yourself on the wait list for that if you are keen. Being on the wait list means that you get over $500 worth of early bird bonuses if you join in the early bird period before the doors officially open. So it's definitely worth getting in on that. We also have limited spaces as our program includes one-on-one support. So it means you get first in, first dressed. Okay, let's get into today's episode.
Hello and welcome to the Ending Body Burnout Show. We are your hosts, Chris and Philly, co-founders of a multi-award-winning functional medicine practice, serving busy people with energy, mood, and gut issues.
While busyness, addictive doing, people-pleasing, and perfectionism might be the norm, it's not normal, and it's a major contributor to health issues.
Our goal with this show is to give you a holistic root cause approach to healing your body so that you don't have to continue doctor or diet hopping or popping a gazillion supplements hoping something might stick.
So get ready to heal your body, get your spark back, deeply connect with yourself, and step into the life of your dreams.
Let's dive in. Hello, guys, and welcome to this episode of the Ending Body Burnout Show. I have Tara with me today, and we're going to do a different podcast episode. We're going to do a live coaching call. So Tara is in the hot seat, ready to be coached, and we're going to turn some time over to Tara now just to introduce herself and find out a little bit more about her, maybe her business as well. Tara, welcome. Tell us a little bit more about you.
Thank you. So my name's Tara. I do own a business called Perth's Art of Numbers Bookkeeping, which is a lot around education and empowering people more than it is just doing the nitty-gritty data entry. It's also teaching the clients how to do it so that they can make informed decisions and know what they're looking at. So it's a lot more empowering for them. Behind the scenes, I'm a wife and a mother. I'm also part of a blended family, which has its own exciting things, as well as a few little challenges along the way. But I also have lived with rheumatoid arthritis since I was 23, I think it was. So that's had its own challenges along the way with autoimmune and learning a lot about my body. Now I've hit 40, so that comes with a whole bunch of new challenges. So that's basically me in a nutshell.
Beautiful. And how old's your kids?
So we have an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Cool. Oh,
both boys.
Pretty much the same as me, except for mine are both girls. So bookkeeping, tell me a little bit more about how you work. Like what's that involved for you? What's your business role look like?
So I started in the accounting world about 19 years ago with my father and his accounting business. And from there, I obviously learned a lot along the way, learned what the challenges are, where's my money? Why have I got a profit? All of these things. And obviously now I'm working more on the education side and showing up for my clients on more of I wouldn't say business coaching, but in a learning environment. So yeah, I need to make sure that I'm always present for that and up to date and ready to answer any questions that they need.
Cool. And so what's your stress levels like and all that sort of stuff at the moment?
So my business, because it's my business and I started it myself 3 years ago, branched away from my father, but I also still work with him in some capacity. The stress of owning my own business, I haven't really had any because I love what I do. It's something that I actually go to when I'm stressed because it brings me back to my passion and, things like that. So my business causes me no stress at all. I have beautiful clients. And I'm very thankful for what I have. Like I said, I'm also part of a blended family, which has its own challenges. My health is obviously been a challenge along the way since I was young. So the only real things I think that stress me out are my health, which I have been trying to implement changes with that. So
cool. What's the most stressful part of your health?
So I struggled, obviously, finding the right medication for my RA to take 100% of the pain away. Struggling with weight issues because of not being able to move as much. I've actually got a bit of a flu at the moment, so immune suppressant. And then having 2 kids at school who bring home all the lovely, lovely bugs for me. So yeah, that's probably the hardest thing that I struggle with.
Yeah. Do you feel Sometimes I think this doesn't have to be a flat out diagnostic, but sometimes I like to look at metaphors for health symptoms. So anything to do with itis, so arthritis, it's like that's an inflammation. So if I think metaphorically about inflammation, flame, so fire, heat, hot, anger, resentment, frustration, either towards others or self. Does that resonate at all with you? I'm often curious about arthritis and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I've also looked at it from a natural. I've done a lot of natural healing, healing back the onion layers and things like that with different people, and a lot of psychological work around that as well. Uh, they say that it comes from a form of fear or fear within yourself, not feeling good enough and things like that. Which, yeah, I think definitely I had a lot of that growing up in myself, even though I had a really nice childhood and great parents, and I can't necessarily pinpoint where it came from. But yeah, I do. Yeah, I guess I do feel a lot of fear sometimes, bit of imposter syndrome and things like that.
Yeah. So when did you say this kind of flared up for you? Around 23 years old or 23 years ago?
So
That's almost the
I
same
was
thing.
23. Yeah, I was around 23 years old.
Yeah.
So yeah, very early in my 20s when I should be out having fun and all the rest of it.
Mm,
I had a lot of restrictions with that. So
mm, yeah. What was life like for you back when you were 23?
Uh, well, I'd say pretty good. I was actually working in education back then, which was something I really enjoyed. So I loved my job, loved working with the kids. I was married very young, so I was in a good relationship, and we'd bought a house and all the rest of it. So I really didn't have anything that I felt that I remember now, whether or not I've suppressed things. But I can't remember anything that really would have been a trigger, because that's something I've tried to work through before with other people. So
Yeah. Cool. And what was young Tara like? What was your childhood like?
happy. I had, great parents, one from education and accounting. Um, my mum worked hard, my dad worked hard. Um, yeah, I had good friends around me, went to a good school. I feel pretty privileged with the childhood that I had. We didn't really have much issues. My parents did end up separating, but remained friends. So it wasn't even a nasty divorce or anything like that. Lucky for us. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Was that
I think I was just happy. Like I don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Thanks for that. It's always good handy info, just getting a scope as we go into a coaching framework. So what do you think you'd like to get some coaching on today? I've got your notes in front of me, but see if you can pop it in your words. What are you after? What would you like to get out of today?
Oh, one thing I actually do now that I think about it is struggle with, and I was actually speaking to my husband about this before. Um, I struggle with, I wouldn't say anxiety. I don't like to put label on things very often. It's just like a very overwhelming feeling. And it's kind of like, uh, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, got to do this. And, my husband goes, well, can I just have 5 seconds of you? And I'm like, well, no. And I can't shut my brain off to, um, to do what I need to do, or even sit and listen to him. So that's something. And even though I have an office and and I don't work from home that often, I, yeah, I just would like to have that. disconnect and not that constant, oh, what about this? And I got to do this. And, you know, so yeah, just having, I don't know, a calm, I guess. That's something I'd like.
Yeah, cool. So tell me more about what would that look like, that calm?
Literally just being able to, if I get a phone call, not go, oh God, I got to stop this, you know, and pick it up. I want to be present again. I want to be able to feel calm when I'm having a conversation with somebody and not have other things going on in my head. That's a big thing. So, and because I'm not, one of the things is I'm being told at the moment that I'm not listening, and I think I'm listening, but I'm clearly not listening because I don't remember half the conversations and I'm having.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So let's try and hone in on a problem that you've got. So you want calm, and you feel like you're told you're not listening. Your husband wants to have 5 minutes of you. You can't shut your brain down to listen to him. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. And so you struggle with an overwhelming feeling. So if we were to give you some questioning and some coaching in and around that, would that benefit? Cool.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like to have coaching and maybe an outcome that you're after?
How long have you got?
Well,
that's the main thing.
Yeah, that could be the main one, but is there anything else that, like, maybe we can weave it in, or maybe the next thing you say is the thing that makes a difference, you know?
I really think if I can get on top of, you know, just finding that space for myself, you know, when you say I'm going to have me time, even when I have me time, I don't feel like that is enough for me to decompress and have space in my brain and my heart to be able to give it to other people. So that's, yeah, I think if we could combat that particular part of me, I think that would really start to open up other things, you know?
Yeah, if I was to say that backwards in a different way, so you want to decompress. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
So that means if you want to decompress, does that mean then therefore that you feel compressed?
Definitely. Like I am like fight and flight and I'm trying to think of the right words to explain it. I don't have room for anything, but it's not like I'm doing anything. Does that make sense? My brain is very full. I can't even meditate because I'm excited, but I'm also too busy.
Yeah. Yeah, excited but too busy. Can't even meditate, brain's full. This makes a lot of sense. The other day, this similar sort of feeling happened to me. I used the word full when I was describing myself. I don't know if this rings relevant to you, but I just felt I had to send an email to a client, and it was Philly and I went away for Easter, and I wanted to reply to my client, and it was just sitting there. It was sitting there, and I had an expectation and obligation to reply. And I tried to write my email. I tried to use artificial intelligence to help me brainstorm, and not to write the email, but just to get thoughts out of my head. I was stuck. I couldn't put words together. My brain was full. I felt so overwhelmed. I couldn't put any more in, and I needed to let stuff come out. My capacity, so if I was a cup, my cup was full. And if I was to think about giving me more time for myself in that moment, more me time, more Chris time, it's not really emptying my cup. My cup just becomes more full, but kind of fun things.
Yep.
I mean, I just
Yep.
went on a holiday. I just went on a 4-day holiday, and I just felt full, right?
Yep.
I don't know if that resonates at all, but I feel like this is a thing. We can feel overwhelmed.
Yep.
Our capacity is exceeded.
And definitely when you're, I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to wanting to make sure that I do everything 100%. There is no in between. There is no, laziness when I go to do something. It has to be the best I've ever produced, or, the best relationship I've ever had, or just give something to somebody that's everything that I have, and it's not that I dislike doing it. It's and I want to, and everything comes from my heart, but it does get to the point where I go, I don't think you're doing that for yourself that much.
I've got a saying, nothing's a problem till it is, everything's okay till it's not. Doing things at maximum or 100%, it's not, you're not an evil witch for wanting to be like that, right? You're not gonna burn in hell for wanting to be good and to give it your all, right? It's not bad until it is, so where do you think your perfectionist patterns, you're giving everything from your heart, but giving everything, where is that a problem? Or where is being compressed and being so full? You can't even meditate because you're so full. No. Where you're here, or maybe you're listening, but you're not hearing, or you're hearing and you're not listening, whichever way.
Taking it on board, yeah.
Yeah, it's not sinking in. It's kind of like you can wet a stone, but it doesn't sink in, right?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what my brain is at the moment.
Rockhead.
Except for the things that I need to remember. They're the things that I do. But it's important to remember the things that, my husband says and my kids say and my friends say. And, that's where I struggle.
Yeah, okay. So remembering the important, did you say remembering the important things is possible for you, but what other people who are important to you say? Is that what you said?
Yeah, and it sounds worse now that I've said. What I'm saying is, when it comes to business, I will remember everything. I will take things on. I will be able to give out information very easily. When it comes to things, my family, friends, kids say, if I'm in the middle of something, I don't always retain the information, but it is just as important. So,
yeah. So if there's a part of you that believes what you just said there, family and kids, important, super important.
100%. Yeah.
There's a part of you that believes business, remember, do, make sure, get it sorted out, and remember,
Yep.
But then there's another little part of you, it sounds like, I could be wrong, sounds like there's this other little part of you that it's like a hierarchy of retention of information, or hierarchy of listening. Might not be true with every part of you. I think a part of you will disagree with this, but a part of you at least will think business stuff kind of up here, a little bit higher in importance. The stakes are higher for business. Stakes are lower for family.
And especially because I do have such a solid family basis where they're there no matter what. I think that's where every business really loses their connection. And maybe and I have actually helped, families get back together because of their businesses driving them apart, because I think it is, and it's sort of autopilot what we do in our business, because it's something we've created, it's our baby, it's what we do, it's something we need to do on a day-to-day basis to give us the life that we have. But it is just as important when you get home to have that quality time and take everything on that you should be taking on. But that is something that I really feel like I need to work on.
Mm. Okay. So why haven't you sorted it out yet?
I think it just feels like there's always something new that I need to do.
Oh, that's a good quote. My family is less important than the things that I keep inventing to do instead.
And even on a family basis, there's always things that need to be done, but it's just, like I said, I just want to be able to slow down, separate myself from those, not feel like I'm still thinking about it when people are talking to me, and just focus on the present. That's the main thing, just being in the present.
Mm. Yeah. So it's not just
Create
about.
our own fears, don't we?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it does sound like this is a fear for you. Hey, like I'm scared that if I don't do the thing, then something will happen that I'm not
Mm,
crash hot about.
definitely. Yeah, that's definitely how I feel. If I don't get everything done, then I'm fearful one part of my wheel of life will start to buckle and will fall off the bike. So, yeah, but you're never doing enough to get everything perfect. So,
Okay. So let's find the thing that you're aware of. Try and get clear on the real problem, because feeling compressed, feeling like your brain's full, that's kind of the effect of this situation. Being distracted, being pulled apart is
mhm.
not present. That's another consequence. Why is this an issue? Why is this a problem for you?
I don't know. I guess I have a fear of failure in any part of my life.
What does that look like? What does that mean?
I think I yeah, it's just if I take the pedal off, or I take the finger off the pulse, then I'm not going to be 100%, or somebody's going to say, oh, she's not giving it her all, or I don't know, I'm going to let somebody down, or they're just not going to be there, you know uh, after everything I've built, kind of thing. So
Yeah, okay. After everything I've built. What's that?
yes, I'm at a point in my life where I really value everything I have. I'm not talking the material. I'm talking about, um, and I guess in the past I have been very materialistic, and um, with certain things, and then I've lost them through different situations. And maybe now that I have realized that value is more than just a material, and it's more about all the effort I'm putting into, and contribution I'm giving to my clients, and where I am at all my education, my husband and I's relationship, my relationship with my kids, and my friends. I've got a couple of really close girlfriends that mean the world to me, and that's all I really need. But those are the most important things to me. But you have this entire other side of life that you have to do day to day. And those things that are important to you seem to be, I don't know, like I'm more scared of losing them than I am anything else, So
Yeah. Okay.
I think I've just learned what the true value of, a relationship is. And I've worked really hard at it. And now I'm a little bit like, I know that I'm not giving it my all because I'm so focused on building the business and, all of that, which is important as well. But I know what my actual importance is, what's important to me on a day-to-day basis, but I'm not giving that the same attention that I should be.
Mm.
And I am in the growth stage of the business. So I understand from other people that is just part and parcel of it. But I would love to have, and maybe it is the controlling part of me, but I just would love to have that balance.
Yeah. Okay. So what it sounds like you got a little bit of a conflict going inside of you, right? Like part of you wants to really, like, you really value things that you have, not just material, but also not excluding material things, right?
Yeah.
So you value that, which
Mm-hmm.
is fine, of course. And then, but also family, your husband, your kids, your
Mm-hmm.
real select crew, your girlfriends, right? You really, really value those important people in your life. But there's a part of you that does really want that connection, that relationship. But then you also have this other part of you that values something else, perhaps. And at the moment,
Just stuck in that growth stage where you have to put a little bit more time into your business, but you don't want to let go of the things that you've spent the last 40 years growing and nurturing. So
yeah. Okay. So what happens? Oh, let's try. I want to try and articulate the parts in here, because you've got a part of me wants this, but a part of me wants that. Can you take a moment just to have a think about that? Just run some options through your mind. What are you dealing with here? What are the two parts or more?
that one thing that has really impacted is I used to so my stepmom she taught me all about work-life balance in her own business. And she, basically said, okay, what's your ideal week? And in that ideal week, it was, which you couldn't really do as an employee, even though my father was quite flexible with me, luckily. But it was when I went into my business, I said, that's it. I'm going to make sure that I do not work past 2:30 in the afternoon or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, because I want to be present for the kids. I want to be there to do their homework. I want to do the projects that they have to do. I want to sit down at dinner time. For an example, last night I didn't get home and off the computer till about 9:45. And my husband had beautifully prepared this meal and all the rest of it. And even though he's very understanding, it does weigh on you, and even though it's once off and I barely ever do that, it was still, well, hang on a second, Tara, you're not really sticking to that ideal plan. So that kind of, the guilt and fear, that's where it all brings up.
Okay.
And then obviously you get run down trying to be everything for everybody. You get the flu.
Yeah. Okay, so a part of you wants to stick to this ideal week, but then a part of you wants to send emails until 10 o'clock and not eat the beautiful dinner, right?
I think what I want is to find a balance in my life. That's my biggest thing. I regardless of what anybody else feels, I would like to feel in myself that I am giving my best to every part of my life, every part of my wheel, and that will make me happy and calm, I think.
Okay.
It's not because people are complaining on the outside, it's because I'm kicking myself on the inside.
Yeah. Okay, so you're smart, you're wise, you know things, you can work things out.
I have the tools.
Right, yeah. You're a very capable woman when it comes to figuring things out, right? So I'm sure that you'll think of a bunch of strategies, a bunch of rules to live by. Some of them you'll find it really easy to adhere to. Some of them might be more challenging and maybe need some tweaking, so you can just find that right thing. So I'll let you do that sort of thing. You know, you'll come up with a bunch of rules and standards for yourself, and you know your life. You know what I mean. I could give you a bunch of recommendations. I could say, hey, have you thought, maybe try this, maybe try that, maybe try, and it's just kind of closing my eyes and throwing ideas at you, kind of like a dart at a dartboard, or pin the tail on the donkey, you know, like it could be kind of similar to that. So you know the strategies that are going to get you across the line. You know the right rules that are to play this game. But then you mentioned the wheel of life, right? There's going to be there's a reason why you keep getting off balance. There's stories that you tell yourself that even with all the strategies, even with all the tactics and the ideas and the infinite amount of possible things that you could plug into your life, there's stories that you tell yourself that just keep making your wheel off balance or going off track, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does any come to mind when I say that?
Not that I can think of right now, but it's definitely. I just know that there's some sort of avoidances around, you know, not sticking to what I want to have with that, you know, ideal week and the plan that I set out for myself.
Yeah, cool.
Allowing things to get in the way, I guess, roadblocks to get in the way for me not to accomplish what I need to accomplish.
Cool. Okay, so if you had this all mapped out as a conflict, like a tension, part of you is being pulled here, part of you is being pulled over here. What are the two directions, or what are the two parts that you've got?
No, I don't know what. It's more of what I've said, you know, just making sure that I'm giving everything to everybody as much as I can, you know, and feeling good about it, feeling like it's enough.
I want to give everything to everyone as much as I can and feel like that's enough. That's a lot of things, and that's a lot of people, and who is the everyone? Like every single person on the planet?
I think when it comes to it's more my family, the things that are important to me. So making sure I'm present with the kids, making sure I'm listening when my husband talks to me, and not trying to do 1,000 things, giving him that attention he deserves. Calling my girlfriends more than every couple of weeks and going, oh, girl, sorry, I haven't called. That kind of thing. So it's just making space in my life to make sure that I'm keeping up that that side of the wheel, so that I feel full, in a good way, not in a overwhelmed way.
Okay. Cool. So being present with your husband, giving him your presence as a present, 100%. So that it's like the gift of you, right? Can I have 5 minutes of you? I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to your kids, for your kids, with your kids, then to your girlfriends, with your girlfriends, for your girlfriends. And then what do you get out of that? You with that presence, you have space. With that space and that presence, you feel full.
Yes. In a good way.
In a good way. And when you feel full in a good way, that reminds me of the movie Elf, where have you seen that? Where you bring us down a whole octave in a good way.
Yeah.
So you feel full in a good way. What do you get out of that when you feel full in a good way, when you can be present with your husband in a good way, when you can give time and space and energy and focus to your kids? What do you get out of that? You feel full, and then what does that give you?
Just calm. Just, even being able to look back on the day and go, wow, that was a core memory. That was something really nice. That was, something we've learned and built on and grown from. So that's what makes me happy.
And if you have those cool memories and you feel full and you feel calm, what's the benefit of that? What do you get out of that?
Well, I have a different sort of energy, which allows me to have more space for the other things that I need to do and the other things that are important to me. So.
And what would that say about you if you had more space and more energy for the other things?
Just feel like I'm successful at everything that I put my heart into.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, what about the opposite of that? If you don't feel success, if you don't put your heart into everything, if you don't feel full, if you don't feel calm, if you don't make cool memories every day, if you don't create space for your girlfriends, your husband, your kids, who are you then in your mind?
That's where I become the fearful, alone, stressed out, anxious person who I don't want to be.
All right. So then you've got this part of you that does the other stuff, right? that doesn't give time to your husband, doesn't give time to your friends, doesn't give time and focus and presence to your kids, husband, girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
What's that part of you giving time and focus and presence to?
Really nothing constructive.
Hmm.
Probably just feel like I'm doing a lot, but I'm not doing a lot.
Yeah. So is that what does that look like? Like what are we actually talking about here?
I don't know, focusing on the day-to-day things rather than things that are important, you know. I don't have to have everything right with the business now. I don't have to have everything that I want now. Uh, I know that I'm good at what I do, and I know that my clients are very happy with what I do. So I don't need to put any extra time and energy into that. But I think when you feel stressed and overwhelmed, you do start to go towards something that's you can do, you know, with the back of your hand, basically. Like you don't need a roadmap. You've done it a billion times. You feel comfortable in that space. But yeah, where I really want to be is focusing on the other bits and pieces. So
Okay, so it sounds like to me you've got this part that really wants to focus on relationships and connection.
yeah,
That means a lot to you.
yeah.
Yeah. But then you've also got a focus on building and business and maintenance and nurturing connections and relationships, but not from a friend and marriage and kid kind of thing. It's a different one, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay. So right now you're torn between the two and you can't really give your all. If you want to give everything you've got to everyone as much as I can and feel like that's enough, currently the way you're doing it, it's not working because nobody's getting the best of you.
No.
Okay. So it sounds like there's a bit of a conflict there. There's a switch between priorities type question going on. There's this part of you that's you want one thing, but another part of you wants another thing. And after I've talked about this a bit, like what are your thoughts? What's coming up for you?
So I was going to say the way you've explained things and the way we've gone through it, I can really, you know, separate the feeling between the things that I don't like, the feeling that I get when I don't like it, or the loneliness and the fear. And, you know, even though it's something I really enjoy, it's not what's important. So the way you've explained things and you know, taking me to those two different areas or three different areas and going, okay, well, this is where you are now, and this is, you know, if you do this path, how do you feel? If you do this path, how do you feel? But you made a really good comment a little while back where you said, and this happens quite often, you know, when things hit the fan, keeping it PG, you you really do have to stop, you know, or when you get sick, you have to stop, you know, and it's at that point, the things that you thought were important actually are not that important. So I think I just really need to, you know, reflecting on everything, I really just think that I need to sit down and take maybe the me time is that 5 minutes to go, remember the feelings associated with each part of my life and go, if I do it this way, how am I going to feel? If I do it this way, how am I going to feel? Whether it's meditation or just having that time as we have to reflect. I think that's something that's really going to help me figure out what that blockage is.
Beautiful. Okay. So that's beautiful insights, right? I love it. So nice. So beautiful. So just take a moment. Do you mind closing your eyes and just letting what you just said there, that insight, just land in you, and just allow yourself to receive those insights, that understanding, that awareness that you just received there, and just let that land in you. And after you've received that awareness and you know what you know, and you now it's clear to you, you get it, you understand it. Just take a moment and allow that to land, and then consider, all right, so going forward, my intention is what? What do you want to do with that awareness?
Just want to do exactly what makes me feel good and be very aware of the things that don't it's not represent it, that what's the word, they don't give you those feelings. I think I want to be really present, and just like I've got my value and passion for my business on my wall, and I read it every day and say, well, are you doing this for your clients? Are you being this person to them? I think I need to do the same thing and put it on the wall, what's really important to me personally, and do the same thing and just reflect on that every day. So even if I'm not doing a meditation, I'm sure it'll end up going that way, but at least just having that reminder, hang on, Tara, are you doing what you really want to be doing? Is this what's making you happy? How are you feeling right now? And maybe just those 3 sentences printed out will start something. So yeah.
So cool. Awesome. All right. So if you were to condense this into like kind of like a mantra or some sort of a statement, but make it personal, like an I am statement, what might that look like?
I'm not that creative.
What kind of chick just does this? What kind of rockin', beaut, awesome, well balanced person can just nail this?
Actually, I will steal like something that I did get from somebody else, and I've got that on my wall as well. I'm going to say, if I had to condense it, I'd put something like, this is what you want and you deserve it.
Oof.
I have something similar that I printed out from somebody else, and it's more to do with the business side of things, but it definitely, evokes emotion every time I read it. So that's something that I'd like to do personally as well.
Love it. Cool. What this might not feel as powerful to you, but what happens if you make that personal? So instead of it being, this is what you want and you deserve it. Do you know what I mean? That's speaking about you. What if you, from a third, what's the word? From outside of you.
Yeah.
What if you change the word you to I? This is what I want. This is what I want, and I deserve it. How does it feel if you were to say it that way?
This is what I want and I deserve it. It's much more powerful.
Yeah. What about if you slap a because on there as well? This is what I want and I deserve it because
it's what makes me happy.
it's what makes me happy.
It's what my life is all about.
Okay, so just reading it back to you, this is what you said. This is what I want. This is what I want, and I deserve it because it's what makes me happy and it's what my life is all about.
Yes.
How's that sound?
Very good.
Love it. I just want to recap just for everybody else who's listening, but also for you. I use this this acronym AIM. If you want to hit a target, you aim. If you want to achieve something, you aim. If you want something, you aim for it. It's possible, if you fluke it, to close your eyes and just kind of throw stuff in the air, like what I was talking about. Close your eyes and just give it a crack.
Yeah.
But if you aim, you put the odds in your favor. So we did a bunch of awareness work, asked some questions, got all facets, all sides of the story. There would probably be a little bit more stuff that if you were working with me as a client, I would keep going down the parts. Yeah, I would unpack that.
Yeah.
I'd also really be interested in finding some more awareness around your arthritis and seeing how, exploring that a little bit more as well. But then you had some really beautiful insights, and so AIM, awareness, I, intention. It's like, well, what am I going to do about it? Now I'm aware of all this stuff. What am I actually going to do about it? And then M is like a mantra or something to be mindful of. And you came up with this beautiful mantra, which is, this is what I want and I deserve it because it's what makes me happy and it's what my life is all about. I love it. It's very beautiful.
Me too.
Just to wrap this one up, I would like to know, do you think that's going to help you with what we talked about at the start, feeling a sense of calm, feeling balance, feeling connected to the important people and the important things in your life, but not letting go of beautiful clients and beautiful business and growth that do you think that's going to, if you can tap into that energy and that vibe, it's going to help you out?
Definitely. The way you constructed and the way we went through it has definitely, I'm already calmer now. I'm going to go speak to my husband.
Oh, I love it.
Give him 15 minutes.
You asked for 5, but I'll give you 15.
But yeah, no, I do feel just, and it is coming back to that awareness and your feelings. And, it is handy that I've done the work before, but it doesn't matter how many tools you have unless you get back into it and, do the coaching with you and start to unravel things. Then it starts to get into your brain and remember that feeling. That's what you're seeking.
Yeah, I love it. I love it so much. Thanks, Tara. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks. What a great opportunity.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was lovely to connect and lovely to meet you too, because we've never met in person or before at all as well. So this is our first time.
No, I've only seen Philly on the her Empire Builder stuff. So cool. Yeah, very nice.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and
thank you.
Feel free, everybody who's listening, to leave us some comments and ask some questions. And Tara, if anybody wanted to get in touch with you from a business side of things, is there anything you would like to share, or is there a way someone could get in touch with you? This beautiful, wholehearted entrepreneur who can not only give you what you want and need, but she's also she's building this beautiful life for herself. Is there some
Yeah.
way other people who really vibe and connect with what you do and who you are can get in touch with you?
Yes. I've got the Perth Side of Numbers Instagram. I've got the Facebook, and I've got my website, which is perthsideofnumbers.com. And any of those will connect you straight to me because I'm still very personal in the way I do things. And yeah, I'd love to connect with everybody.
Love it. I love it. Love it so much. Thank you so much again. And thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you.
Alrighty. See you, Tara. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.
You too. Bye.
See ya.
Thank you so much for listening. We so appreciate you. If you'd like to give us extra smiles, drop us a review and spread the love by sharing this episode.
You can also rate your own state of burnout and the root cause contributors by taking our Ending Body Burnout Assessment on our website. And if you're interested in learning about our group or one-on-one Ending Body Burnout programs, shoot us a DM via Instagram or Facebook.
Have the best day ever.